But here's something I do want to talk about for just a moment before we get into the game, and this is the potential of a Dreamcast Mini. So apparently Sega struck a deal with some company. I forget the name of the company, it is in there somewhere. But they struck a deal with a company who specialize in Sega peripherals and Sega accessories and things along those lines. So there's possibly going to be so there's nothing confirmed yet, of course, but possibly going to be a Dreamcast Mini at some point. And I think that'd be a great idea. I really do. I'd want a Dreamcast Mini. I think that'd be an awesome idea, because I remember the Dreamcast when it came out. We got a Dreamcast, really, still around. But yeah, the Dreamcast was, in my opinion, one of these consoles, a console that was just ahead of its time. Like, it wasn't the first console, technically not the first console to go online. I believe the SNES holds that distinction. It was the first console to have an online play. However, with the SNES, it was Japan only. And from my understanding, it was only a few people that actually had it, because I believe it was more of an experiment than rather a commercial thing. So the Dreamcast, to my knowledge, was the first console to go online commercially, and that's a pretty big thing. But this is back in the dial-up days, so you didn't have voice chat or any of these fancy features that everybody just takes for granted now. Back then, it was just like you get online, you get a matchup, and it's just like cool. You play with somebody, and you don't know who you're playing against. But it was cool, man. It was cool, even though you had to spend like 10p a minute on the dial-up, and if your mum wanted to use a phone, you had to get off the internet. But it was a good time, man. It's a good time. And yeah, it had like the control pad, had a memory card. You could take the control pad out, and it could play like a mini little game machine. So it's so many cool features, man. So yeah, definitely a console that was ahead of its time. Such a shame that it didn't do well, but yeah, I can't claim to be innocent in that particular thing. But yeah, just before we get into the game though, speaking of old school games, this article does have a list of old school Dreamcast games that they think should be on a Dreamcast Mini should it ever come to fruition. And I can't argue with this selection. If you can see it here, it says Shenmue 1 to never play, but whatever. Sonic Adventure, I can do without that. But aside from that, Soul Calibur was pretty good. Crazy Taxi, Virtua Tennis was probably one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast. What else was there? Code Veronica, Resident Evil was a great game. Choo Choo Rocket was a lot of fun. Ikaruga, I didn't play on the Dreamcast, but I did play it on the GameCube, and that was a pretty damn good game. I got it on PC actually, but I liked that a lot. And Street Fighter 3, I never actually played this one, but I did like Street Fighter, so yeah. But yeah, definitely Crazy Taxi was awesome, man. One of my favorite games. Just not on the Dreamcast, I didn't play it, but I did play it on that was a GameCube game for me as well. But still, great game, great game. I remember I used to work in McDonald's when the PlayStation was being released, or just about to be released. Oh, flipping out. And there was a guy who worked there. He was telling me that he was saving up his money to get a PlayStation. And at the time, I wasn't really convinced that a PlayStation was going to be worth. Oh, damn it! I wasn't convinced that PlayStation was going to be worth getting. So I was kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know, because Nintendo was big at the time, and Sega, of course, were still making consoles. So I was kind of like, I don't know about this PlayStation, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't get a PlayStation right away. I got it maybe a year or two after it was released. And but yeah, boy, when I did, man, rinsed out them games, man, for real. Best believe. Yeah, they made us choose sides. The console wars in it, man. Especially when their funds were like, not exactly high. It's dramatic because you have to live with the choice. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you got like one choice, you know what I mean? You got enough money to buy one console, and that's it. Yeah, but it's tough, man. Remember there was one guy in my school when, back in the sort of Sega Nintendo days where, people were getting like Super NESs and all that stuff, right? There was one guy in my school who came in one day with an Atari Lynx. And I guess what happened is that he asked his mum for a games console, and she just didn't realize that nobody cares about Atari Lynx, and got him that. But he brought in his Atari Lynx to school, and he was trying to act like, oh yeah, it's the coolest thing ever, because Atari Lynx you can flip it upside down and play left-handed. It's like, yes, so. Boy, man got teased for days. Got cussed for days. Man brought an Atari Lynx to school, you know. Atari Lynx. What was you thinking, dude? Like, you tried. I mean, fair play, man. Tried it. Man tried to, like, be like, yeah, it's cool, man. You could do this. Like, it was an Atari Lynx. What the, I mean, you gotta give credit. He tried, but man. Atari Lynx. Rocking a hipster vibe, you know what I mean? Man was a hipster before hipsters were hipsters. The original hipster. Before it was even a thing. It was way before his time. You know, if you went to like one of these hipster bars and just took out an Atari Lynx, they probably think you're really cool. You know what I mean? I imagine like going to one of these like trendy Shoreditch bars or whatever. These trendy wine bars in Shoreditch, or, you know, Starbucks or something like that, with your, you know, Apple Mac laptop, and then bringing out an Atari Lynx. People might be like, oh, you must be the coolest hipster. That's how you get all the hipster cred. You know, you're just taking a piss with this, isn't it? This game's just... I love the Lynx. I'm not sure if that was a joke or not, but... How do people complete this game? Like, seriously, like, do they... I swear the only way you can complete this game if you sold your soul to the devil. Like, it feels like that. Like, you've got to sell your soul to Satan to complete this damn game. I know that's not true, but still, it feels like that, man. Can't play serious joke. You know, I would... listen, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did try to sell their soul to the devil so they can complete this game. I honestly, it wouldn't. If I've read about that on one of these news websites, I probably wouldn't even check if it's a parody site. I'd be like, you know, I believe that. I believe somebody would try that. It's probably already happened. It just hasn't been in the news yet. Ah, flipping hell. Damn this son of a bitch game. Souls are going cheap nowadays. Oh, okay, I missed that bit. Souls are going cheap nowadays. Already maxed out credit cards. Okay, I get it now. What else? Oh, yeah, for those who don't know as well, so I have like loads of old videos on the Bandit Haze channel that I unlisted or privated, because as that became more comedy focused, I was feeling like those old videos didn't really fit in what I was doing on that channel anymore, so I unlisted them. That being said, I do personally still think they're pretty cool videos, and I think that they fit in more with what we do in this channel, the Haze Days channel. So there's like 197 videos in total. They're not all going to come over. But the plan is to re-upload a lot of those videos over to this channel over the coming months. Yeah, it fits all right. All 197 vids. Well, the thing is, some of the videos are stuff like, you know, things like, you know, updates for the channel or stuff like that. Or so I didn't bring those over. Then there's things like I didn't bring over any on the live streams as well. I thought, you know, I could leave those as well. And then there's other videos I was just looking at where, I mean, look, here's the thing. They're older videos. They're a bit cringy anyway. I don't mind that. But then some of them were like, boy, I just said some stupid shit. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, maybe it's best this just stays. You know what I mean? So I don't mind the cringe. It is what it is. But some of it was like, boy, what the hell was I thinking? So yeah, there'll be a few that come over. Not all of them would. I think most probably would. But yeah, there'll be a few that maybe might be like, you know what? Maybe this just stays. Not anyone else, but I love cringy vids. Well, you know, it's part of the growth, isn't it? Because I think when you anytime you're doing something for a while and you look at how you started, or, you know, and you're even just from like a year ago or 2 years ago, it was like you look at how you were doing things then and you look at how you're doing things now. There's a massive difference, because, you know, you're getting used to it more. You know, you're evolving, you're progressing, So yeah, we look back at videos from like a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's just cringy, man. But I don't mind that. You know, I don't mind that. It's part of growth, and I think it's cool for people to see that that progression and that growth. And especially some people who are new to the channel who might not have seen those old videos to begin with, for them to see some of those old videos where it was like, you know, well, I sound like a damn robot talking on the, or I've got no emotion coming through, where I'm just like, you know, talking like this all the way through. And because in your mind, like, I don't know, like in my mind, because I remember what I was thinking at the time. Well, vaguely. But I remember just things going through my mind, thinking like, I'm putting on some great show. I'm putting on some really charismatic performance. But then watching those videos back afterwards is like, and I went to the like, what's going on in my head compared to what's actually happening on camera? Not quite the same thing. So yeah, definitely hella cringy, but it is what it is. I don't mind that. I remember Solemn Haze. Oh, okay, you mean in terms of like, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, we call him in Solemn Haze. We'll call him that, yeah. We'll call him Solemn Haze, old school Haze.